Welcome to Policy on Demand's Week in Review. I'm Todd Metcalf.
What would you tell clients are your takeaways from this week?
Remember that tax deal agreed by Chairman Smith-Wyden and passed by the House on an overwhelmingly bipartisan basis in January? Well, this week, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer finally filed a motion for an up or down vote on proceeding to the bill. So that's one step forward. However, the legislation's prospects remain unfortunately dim. That said, there's always hope later in the fall, or is there? With under 100 days left until the 2024 election, tax policy popped up in the remarks both of the presumptive Democratic nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Republican nominee, former President Donald Trump. Unsurprisingly, in keeping with Biden administration policy, Vice President Harris reaffirmed her commitment to oppose any tax increases that would fall on taxpayers making less than $400,000 per year. The challenge of such a pledge, of course, remains the same: how to offset the costs of a broad range of policy expansions while protecting more than 95% of all taxpayers from bearing any of the burden. On the other side of the contest, in a bit of a twist, former President Trump proposed repealing income taxes imposed on all Social Security income. While Social Security benefits for those earning under $25,000 are already exempt from income tax, exempting all Social Security benefits from tax could lose north of $1.5 trillion in revenue, according to some estimates, which could prove problematic both fiscally and politically. Currently, the revenue generated by taxing Social Security benefits is used to shore up the Social Security and Medicare trust funds, both of which are already rapidly approaching insolvency.
Which question related to policy did you get asked the most, and how did you respond?
The most common question I heard this week is unsurprising. If Congress cannot find a way to pass a comparatively small measure like the Smith-Wyden tax deal, brimming with tax benefits amid a dearth of political pain, how on earth are they ever going to be able to come to terms with the unavoidable multi-trillion-dollar challenge they face at the end of 2025? And that's a very good question, but I think it comes down to that balance of benefits and political pain. While the Smith-Wyden agreement is composed of many popular tax benefits, from restoring R&D expensing, expanding affordable housing and disaster relief, to improving the lives of millions of families with children, it has become clear that policymakers do not believe they will feel sufficient political pain if they fail to deliver on its promise. Accordingly, they see it as a comparatively easy pass. On the other hand, the political pain of failing to act in 2025 will be overwhelming. Trillions of dollars in tax increases falling on earners at all income levels will not go unnoticed, and consequently, the incentives for policymakers to prevent that outcome seem sure to overcome the usual congressional inertia. In sum, failure to act on the Smith-Wyden agreement, however necessary and important its provisions may be to many taxpayers, seems trivial compared to the extraordinary political peril that may flow from inaction next year.
Where should companies focus their attention in the coming week?
Taxpayers should keep a close eye on members of Congress. With progress on the Smith-Wyden agreement unlikely, the eyes of policymakers are becoming more and more fixed on the challenge 2025 will be. While the August recess is usually a quiet time on the policy front, this year, lawmakers will be taking their consideration of how to address the expiration of the TCJA individual provisions on the road, with hearings and discussions in Iowa, Georgia, and beyond. Accordingly, taxpayers need to stay focused both on what policymakers are doing and what they're saying as they prepare for the Super Bowl of tax next year.